Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends. It's Sunday, it's 2 p.m, slightly later, and it is Talking Town. I'm your host, The Gov, looking forward to dissecting and discussing Ipswich Town 2, Sunderland 1. But as always, we can't do it without you wonderful people at home's help. Live chat is there. Please do get active. Live link coming about halfway through the show. If you should say wish to come on the platform and have your say in your own words on the game, on transfers, on anything you want to talk about in regards to Ipswich Town FC. And if you're watching on catch up, what is it I always say? FTA, comment for the algorithm. There are no three-word reviews or GIF reactions for this show today. Apologies, I've been busy this morning. With cake for my daughter's birthday. She turned 1 on Friday. I made a chocolate cake. It went really well. I love chocolate cake. So apologies. We'll try and do that for the next show if we can. But we had a huge success on our social media platforms for those. As always, thank you ever so much for those that do take the time to do three-word reviews and GIF reactions. We've got James Renell, who says, Gov, match reaction isn't on YouTube. Thought you should know. Thank you, James. Yep, had some technical issues with that. So that's not currently available to watch. Apologies. Hope to have that back with you soon. If not, you've got this one here where we'll do the same sort of thing. We'll pull it all apart and discuss it. As Eric starts us off here with what a hard-fought game yesterday. Delighted for Jackson and Chapper's thunder-blasted header. 3 points. When will teams learn? Do not leave Connor Chaplin unmarked in the penalty area. It's a dangerous thing to do, and teams do it at a consistent level. Ben Hobbs loved Lee's interview at the end of the game. He loves it here. Absolutely. Rob Holmes, after doing it all, shout out to Travis, who played well after coming on only a week ago, got stuck in from minute 1. Do you know what? I was thinking about that this morning in my bird room at 5:45 in the morning. I was thinking, do you know what? What a hell of a game he had yesterday. Been here a week, and he looked like he'd been here 6 months. He looked like he'd been here a while. He really fitted into the style, and there's a player in there that, look, I'm not going to go Raheem Harper levels of plaudits. I'm not going to curse the poor lad, but I thought he was really, really good yesterday. How did you see Travis's game? Town women are 1-3 at half-time. I'm not sure if they're home or away. Hopefully that's good news. Let us know if they're home or away. No, that's not good news. Richard's giving me the thumbs down there. Okay, we'll move swiftly on. Joe Pearson, hope we can go to Leicester without Leicester, what Lee's done to us, and make the Leicester game a cup final, get a win to peg them back and maintain a gap between us and Southampton, the gap back to 3 points. Before we go any further, though, we are, of course, partnered with Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. Are you a sports enthusiast who loves football and cricket? I know many of you do, and you want to support the life-saving work while having fun and winning cash prizes. Who doesn't want to, A, support the life-saving work, and B, win a cash prize? For those that obviously didn't watch the live reaction show, there was 200 people watching live last night. I did say I need to win a lot of cash prizes to get a new computer. So I will of course, be playing this every single week, hoping to change my fortunes around and get a new desktop. But you can support the East Anglian Air Ambulance by playing Match Bingo. You not only indulge your passion for sport, but also contribute to the crucial work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance. I think on Wednesday's show, I might see if Rich and Matt have started to get a £2 bingo card. And if so, have they had any luck, and who they punting for? Because you can select the games that you want to put the bingo cards on if you feel like you're going to get something out of each one. How your players on the screen. Over 18s only. Be gamble aware. Moby, is Leicester back to being a 6-pointer? Great question. Debbie Lyle loved Chapper's facial expressions. Yes. Oh, so much passion in that goal yesterday, Debbie. Really was. Pumping the badge on the chest, captain's armband on. My love for Connor got that a little bit more last night. It really did. Norman Greenwood, I thought he did really well. The midfield who have barely trained together. That said, Hadladki had a lot less kicking options without Morsey and Luongo. Debbie, who obviously goes to the same church as I do, coming through here saying the Gov does make a pretty decent chocolate cake. Debbie, thank you ever so much. I really appreciate that. I haven't paid Debbie any money to say that, by the way. That was all off her own back. But there you go. See, but don't come to me with orders. I don't do orders. Another solid performance by Edmondson. Also, impact substitutions are back. Great use of the bench. And Blaze Dog, got to give some credit to Edmondson. Can't be easy being back in the squad. Can't fault his or any of the team's effort. Talking of things I'm good at, a big shout out to the Keys family. Yes, I am pretty good at this job. I saw one of the Keys family on Friday who said, "Oh, you're not bad at that actually, are you?" Someone, you're not bad at that actually. How How cheeky, but a huge shout out to you. Thanks for watching. Right, joining me this afternoon. I said I'd give him a shout, and I have. Right, we've got Matt Phillips and the Cruncher Richard Moss. And I'm not the only one who got spotted, recognised. Matty Phillips here, the lesser known Talking Town trio member.
Yes.
Got a little tap on the shoulder Saturday, is that right?
Yeah, coming out of, we went to BT's, me and Mike Woods went to BT's, met the Fortuna crew. Very good. Shout out Torsten. They're flying back today. Some went by coach last night.
You were trying to lead Colin astray, I hear, trying to make him miss his train.
Should be
last night.
Thought he might fancy another pint, but he said no.
He'd been out since 11:30 yesterday morning.
He had, yeah. So we went and met the Fortuna crew, and as I was going down the stairs, a lovely family from Peterborough came up and said they watched the Talking Town.
Peterborough, just up the road from me.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Cruncher country. Now, good news with Mike driving me yesterday, Martin, was I was able to take delivery of your beers he got for you for Christmas. Here's your first one. No Man's Land.
Oh, yeah, they won't get to me now, will they? Not
Colchester Brewery.
You. I've heard the rumours.
Quite partial of that one. And Santa Claus. There you go. Look at that. If you could see that on TV there. Colchester Brewery. Big shout out there. Big shout out, Mike Woods.
A couple of them on my shelf as well.
Lovely jubbly.
Yeah, all right. So you had a great afternoon.
You'll get them. You'll get them when you get your Christmas present from me.
Look at this. Yeah. Save it long enough. It'll be next
December
year's
24.
Christmas present. But me and Rich are both surprised for those at home listening and watching, because Matt is never spotted. Matt is never remembered to be on this show.
Instantly forgettable.
Yes,
sometimes that's a good thing anyway.
Yes,
to just go under the radar.
Absolutely. Rich, obviously you were at the game yesterday. Look, I want to start with the atmosphere, because I messaged you both in the WhatsApp group within the first sort of 10 minutes.
Unbelievable. This unbelievable. This man criticising the atmosphere sat in his living room, Matt.
I know. Can you believe
I had to turn my TV up.
Part-time fan, yeah?
Well, I don't care being a part-time fan, full-time fan, whatever. Atmosphere yesterday, Rich. I thought it was as flat as a pancake. I thought it was quiet. It was a library, particularly in the first half. Was it as it sounded on the television, or was it like that in Fortress Pullman Road?
See, I didn't think it was that great. I agree with Martin.
Really?
Where were the actual German fans situated yesterday, Matt?
All over the shop, I think.
Well, there we go. Because normally they used to be in the North Stand, section 6.
Yeah.
See, I think So they've obviously Blue Action have gone to. There you go, Norman's straight on the money there.
Norman.
For anyone listening on audio, Norman says, to be fair, given his size, it is hard to spot Matt.
Still taller than Lee Anderson. Just
very true.
But
they obviously Blue Action moved, didn't they, in the close season to Block A?
Cobblestand, yeah.
Now, has that worked? Because if you go on social media, there's a lot of people slating them. There's a lot of people slating the North Stand, because when they were in the North Stand, obviously they're in one area there. Now, for me, it's never going to happen. But to get that to work, Matt and Martin, they need to be central behind the goal in the North Stand. Now, people have sat there for years in your designated season ticket seats, and you're not going to move, and which is understandable, because if you've got a good seat, you're not going to want to give it up. But I think we're going to struggle with the atmosphere. And I don't see this just as a town issue, guys. I think this is across football. A lot of stadiums you go to, anywhere around the country, you'll have a singing section. A lot of people just want to go and watch the football. They do. That's just, and you've got like the age group. You've got a lot of older fans who obviously they just want to watch the game. And does it really matter? Are we that fixated about atmosphere? The team are playing well. You get behind them, whatever. And everyone supports in different ways, don't they? So
very true. But I will chime in there and say, as a TV viewer last night, as a watcher on the television, Matt, it really adds to the game. But it also, you often hear from players and management, and they whip up the crowd, not just at Ipswich, all games, because it really adds something. And I thought yesterday, back to Portman Road, Saturday evening, not a midweek or whatever, where people are coming from work, etc., that we would be really on our toes, as it were. And roaring our lads back to winning ways. And I was just surprised that it was a bit almost expectant of we're waiting to see what unfolds.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, sometimes Portman Road is like that, isn't it? But I mean, look, if you go way back to Bobby Robson's time when he first came in as town boss, he called the Ipswich Town Fans zombies because they weren't making enough noise. So maybe it's always just been in our DNA a little bit. I mean, I totally agree they should be behind the goal. I mean, look, if you watch Bundesliga, if you've watched Fortuna, who are obviously in the second tier of the Bundesliga, 54,000 seat stadium they've got, by the way, so twice the size of Portman Road. You'll have all those flags, that kind of flag style they bought yesterday, that huge flag. They'll have several of them behind the goal, and that's where they'll all congregate, and we'll have orchestrated chants with a guy on a megaphone and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really our style, is it? Country club on the East Coast, but I would agree. I would say they'd have to go behind the goal. Absolutely.
But then you even had, if you look at Jurgen Klopp's comments, Matt, the other week about Anfield, and Anfield used to be great atmosphere, and even he was criticising him.
Though, isn't it now?
Yeah, but he was criticising his own fans. But it is what it is. It doesn't really bother me, to be fair, if I'm honest. I just go there and watch the game and just get on with it.
I lost my voice. Rich asked what was wrong with my voice at full time.
Right. Talking of voices, has anybody, I don't know if you two have heard it or anyone in the chat, have you heard George Edmondson's interview with Brenner after the game yesterday?
No.
He's gone Paul Cook.
Has he?
It's a brilliant interview, and Brenner's laughing. They're laughing amongst themselves. You can hear it. It's like the voice changes. Obviously, Fridge has been shouting on the pitch, and he's a little bit hoarse. And there's a little bit of it. Then Brenner says at the end, "I'll only ask you one more question, George, because obviously you've got to save your voice because he's obviously doing the press," and they're having a little giggle. But if anyone hasn't heard it, go on BBC Sounds and you can listen back to the post-match show. But he's all in on Paul Cook. Great. And I thought he was great yesterday, wasn't he, Fridge? Brilliant.
Well, let's talk about him. Obviously, he came in for Burgess, who's away on international duty. You thought he was great. What particularly about his performance did you really enjoy? Because he got caught once with where he got booked, didn't he? Where he got caught sort of the wrong side and got.
We'll talk about the bookings in a minute because
I thought the you might. By the way, I'll say that now.
Did you honestly?
Yeah, I did. Honestly,
in the stadium, I thought the general opinion was he was absolutely awful.
Yeah,
I can see why. I just thought he was a good referee, kept control of the game, gave cards where he needed to give cards, and was quite reserved where he needed to be reserved.
Well, it's interesting you said that because I was speaking to Hawks this morning, and I said about Harry Clark was the first one to get booked. Now, for me, I don't know. You obviously watching on TV, Gov. You get your replays. I thought that was a good tackle, right? And he's obviously set his stall out. Yeah, Jack Taylor yesterday, he commits 5 fouls before he gets a yellow. So that to me doesn't show consistency.
No, true. But then the consistency is the inconsistency of a referee, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what you come to expect.
At one point, every tackle was a yellow for Ipswich. But for about 15, 20 minutes, we kept getting booked. He was inconsistent, I thought. And a lot of people didn't really rate him around me either. So, different vibe on the telly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a different vibe on the telly.
Yeah,
you see things 2 or 3 times. You see things back at half time, et cetera, et cetera. And there's always going to be a tackle or 3 where referees are inconsistent. That's always going to happen. You have to sort of get on board with that as a football fan and say, it's going to happen. That's football. Harry Clark's first booking, I think he, probably from my perspective, got booked it was slightly late. Got the ball, in my opinion, but slightly late. And I think the referee probably felt at the time it was a more cynical foul than perhaps it was, because had he not committed the foul, Sunderland were then breaking. They were then away. That's almost take one for the team territory, if you like. You could have viewed that as in real time live action, not with 4 or 5 replays. But George Edmondson, back to him. What about his game particularly?
Well,
Rick, did you?
I did say the other week, didn't I, when it was Cameron got selected for Australia, and I said, you touched on it a few weeks ago as well about players when they come in. It's all about taking your opportunity, Martin. And obviously, Fridge not played a lot of football. He played a couple of games. He had played, I think the whole game, Matt. He played the Plymouth game.
That's right. Come in for those, didn't he? Yep.
Yeah. So he got picked just for them. So, and I said, I think last week he's done well. He's kept himself obviously fit, raring to go. And he was in his interview. He said yesterday about there's no sulkers down there, Matt, because you see them, didn't they, after the game or at 20 past 2. If you're not in the squad, you have your extra men. They're doing the running. And he was doing that sometimes on away games. You'd see him out there with the fitness coach doing the sprints up and down. And you think for someone, because you obviously train all week, and then you want to play at the weekend, don't you? Because that's what it's all about. And he's not been in. And then there's obviously a bit of transfer speculation I see about Pompey. he said yesterday about why would you want to leave town? You know, where the position they're in, and you wouldn't. But look, I'm a big Fridge fan, and I think he's always been capable of playing in this division because he's played here for Derby. You know, he played in Europe with Rangers. He's a good player. He's been a victim of, obviously, he got injuries, didn't he? I think he done his ankle. He done it twice, didn't he? And he's never really had that run of games to get back in the team. And you have to take your hat off to Cameron, who's came in. And I've said before on here, and you probably agreed, Matt, I didn't think Burgess would be good enough for the Championship. And he, in my opinion, is probably the most improved player under McKenna. But he's gone away now to Australia for the Asia Cup. I think he was on the bench in the first game. So this is George Edmondson's chance, Gov, to come in the team. He's played 3 games, and he played at Stoke, played at Wimbledon, and he's played yesterday. And I think he's been excellent in all 3 games. And now you've just got to stack up them performances. And if you go game on game, and then by the time Burgess comes back, I think, is it mid-February? If George Edmondson's played well for 7-8 games,
it's his shirt.
It is his shirt to lose them, because you think if Burgess comes back in and George goes out the side, that's the time for me. You'd go and have a conversation with your manager, wouldn't you? Because you'd think, right, I've done all I can, I've played well, and maybe it is time to move on. But I think at the minute, look, he was good. He was good yesterday. I thought he helped Wolfie through the games. I didn't think Wolfenden was at his best yesterday.
No.
And yeah, look, I've always been a big fan of Fridge, and let's hope he has another good game Monday week at Leicester, and he just keeps improving, because, like I said, if he's playing well, we want these players to come in. When you've got your opportunity, whoever it is, like a Wolfenden, an Edmondson, a Jack Taylor, we'll probably come on to him. You have to grab that opportunity when it comes along, because if you don't, you're going to be back out the squad or sitting on the bench.
Yeah. I'm a big Cash-in fan, Matt, and I would still love to see Cash-in arrive at Pullman Road. But has Fridge done enough in the last 3 games to sort of put, if you're Mark Ashton and Kieran McKenna, to put that centre-half search, if there was one, to the back of your mind?
Yeah, I would. Well, I mean, look, you've always got an eye on targets for next season, haven't you? We know how far ahead they sort of plan for these things. But I think Fridge is doing great. And let's not sleep on the fact that he's a big voice in the dressing room, even though he's not been playing many games. He has captained town under McKenna. I think when Moulsey was missing games. I think when we went to Hillsborough, got beat 1-0 up there, 2-0, I can't remember. A couple of years back, he was the captain. Do you remember we had Chaplin on the show? He did the interview and he said, do you think the armband is heavy on Fridge? So let's not underestimate the fact that he's obviously a big character and has been trusted with the leadership role before. So again, another, when Morsey's not there, he has obviously stepped up yesterday if his interview's anything to go by with his Hawk's voice.
Although you played centre half, didn't you, Martin?
I tried to.
I mean, you wouldn't mind playing yesterday against nobody.
Nobody, the invisible man.
Because they didn't have a striker, did they? Until they bought, I think the lad come on second after one. We'll get onto the miss, but it's obviously sometimes that's a little bit more. You've got to keep your concentration as well, hasn't you? Because it might become a little bit easy. But I thought Fridge was good. He was good on the ball, distributed it well. Look, we've had conversations on here before about him playing on that left-hand side, but I think so far in the 3 games he's played, he's been excellent.
Yeah, James says Fridge playing like this is like having a new player coming in. Ian says one swallow doesn't make a summer. Fridge and Wolfie aren't first choice centre backs in my honest opinion, but we need a squad. They did okay.
I don't think Ian's ever been Wolfie's biggest fan, and I think now, why would Luke Wolfenden not be a first choice centre back? He's played over 150 games for the club, and I think it showed when he missed the Leeds game, didn't he? Took him out there, which I thought was a bit. I think Wolfenden's had a really good season, Martin. I think he's one who goes under the radar.
Agree. I've proclaimed my love for Luke Wolfenden for the last couple of weeks. I think he's been sort of, criticised unjustly over the last couple of weeks, and he got caught yesterday. But I feel at this point of the season, it's a tactic for him to stop on the ball and draw an opposition into you to then play a pass and spring a counter. I think that's now. We've got to sort of realise that isn't Wolfie being slow on the ball. That's us looking to draw an opposition onto us. We've stopped. We're drawing you on to try and spring a play out. And people want fast passes from the back. That's not always an option, Rich, is it?
I think sometimes it's you got to pick your moment, haven't you? And I think there's still fans in the stadium Well, we can come on to that. There is still fans in the stadium who want the goalkeeper to get the ball and launch it 70 yards up the field. That's not happening. We don't play that way. We're never going to play that way under Kieran McKenna. This isn't Mick McCarthy football, Matt, is it? You know, you're launching it up to Daryl Murphy up the top. And yeah, look, sometimes maybe Wolfie is a little bit slow, but that's the way he's been instructed to play. You know, that does come from the manager. They do work on patterns of play in training, you know, all week. And it is draw them on. And we, like you'll see from the goal kicks, he'll go to the side sometimes and he'll take the goal kick and pass to Alaki. There was one in the first half, I think about the first 2-3 minutes yesterday. Alaki's down by you, Matt, playing right back by the corner flag.
Oh, God,
and then the ball gets passed across the penalty area. We've got no goalkeeper in, and you're thinking, blimey, you know, 20 years ago, you'd be having an absolute heart attack. Thinking, what the hell are we doing? But listen, this is the way we play. Look, we did get away with one, didn't we, Martin? That one in the second half yesterday.
How did you miss that?
He didn't have the greatest game, did he? That lad, the French lad who came on, because he obviously missed that chance. Then he's the guy who gives the free kick away for the winning goal. So look, 9 times out of 10, that would have ended in the net. I was sitting there waiting for the net to bulge, and we were just making the subs. Then, Matt, you had obviously the triple substitution coming, and you're thinking you don't want to go 2-1 down. You know, they're making them changes to go and win the game, then, aren't they? And obviously that's the way it panned out, and we did go and win the game. But I think sometimes, Martin, you are going to have little things like that happen along the way. It's not going to be perfect all the time, and we did have a bit of luck there. But you do need
it's either luck. Is it luck, or is it Sunderland not taking the chances they were gifted? Do you know what I mean?
True.
You know, like you say, you thought the net was going to bulge, so did I, and then they didn't take the chance. So
he shanked it a little bit, didn't he, Gov? He shanked it a little bit. Sort of cut across the ball, didn't he, and put it wide.
Didn't strike me a player with confidence in him. You know, the opportunities come to him and he snatched at it because he hasn't got the confidence, the composure that you build up over time, which is why Kaden Jackson's opportunity was such a well taken opportunity. We'll come to that in just a second. We've got Joe says, of course it was. Why people trying to change the style of play? God is here. Crazy. Stephen Digby. Fridge was great again. Just the through ball and crossfield pass to Burns that was missing. Balls to Davis were crisp. Streaky is sorry he was late. He's been to a Don Goodman's Ipswich appreciation party.
Not the biggest fan, is he, Don Goodman?
No. It doesn't seem it on the Sky.
Did he play for Sunderland though? Did he play for
Sunderland and Wolves? Am I right in thinking he played for Sunderland and Wolves?
Yeah, Bradford.
He's been around the block, hasn't he?
Like the penalty. Let's talk about the penalty just for a second, because
I've heard his comments. I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. He said he gets the ball.
No, this the one on Amari? That one? The Luke 09 one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a penalty all day. And then booking.
Yeah. That was the biggest gaffe from the referee.
Yeah.
If you're talking about referees earlier in the show. That's the biggest gaffe.
Yeah,
that's live action.
What were his words, Martin? He's got the ball, and then they showed the replay, and I can't remember. He's like, maybe he's just got the ball.
He doubled down on it almost from memory. He didn't sort of say, actually, like, he just got the ball. It's almost like a hard yellow. What is a hard? I'm sure
I don't know why he doesn't give the penalty there, Mike, because it looks as though he's got the whistle to his lips. He's going to blow. Then it falls to Chaplin, and you wouldn't be playing advantage there because
not in the box.
I just find it baffling that he didn't give a penalty. But
no, that was his worst decision of the game.
Yeah, that was a really strange one, wasn't it? It was. Just...
I did think Taylor's yellow though. If you wanted the definition of a yellow card, that tackle he did outside the box on that fella, I thought that was the definition of a good yellow. Didn't it?
The thing is, commentators do it across all sports. I watch a lot of NFL, and a lot of times they throw a flag for a foul, and there's no foul, and then they sort of almost double down on backing the referee up to say, it was slight contact there. It's like, no, there wasn't. What are you watching that I'm not? That clearly we're seeing two different things. Jack Taylor, Kaden Jackson. Let's start with Kaden Jackson, the goal scorer, because he took that really well. Almost like a player that's been playing all season, getting the goals, because it's such great composure, Matt. Falls to him nicely, of course, but he's got to finish it, and he took it so well. How did you see his overall game?
Well, it was funny, wasn't it? Because you'd sent me that tweet, hadn't you? Me and Rich, that tweet on Friday night where Stuart Watson had a feeling,
gut instinct,
Kaden was going to play. I would say he got briefed off the record at the press conference. He was
Come
probably
on,
gonna
he had
start.
beans on toast for his dinner. And he had a gut instinct.
I don't think he's tweeting it out. Look what happened when Paul Lambert was manager and the team got leaked at Lincoln, and then he banned Phil Ham, didn't he? So I doubt that very much that he's leaking information on a Friday night.
Don't know.
I wasn't bothered about that. It was more that
Gov did say on Wednesday night that you thought Jackson played, didn't you?
Yeah, well, you weren't going to play. Well, we said on here, didn't we? We're not going to play Ladapo after that Wimbledon performance. Really gone down in my estimation, Ladapo. Really let us down, I feel, against Wimbledon.
And that was inside information, by the way, because I was inside when I gave you the information. So
yeah,
definite
no,
inside.
I think, look, Kaden done. And look, I think Kaden filled the gap there, didn't he? Because it doesn't feel like we can trust Ladapo. Big Gerrard wasn't on the bench, not really ready. And we're in a kind of no man's land at the moment on who's going to be coming in as a number 9 if we can get them. So that was what Stuart said on his tweet, really, wasn't he? You know, you get behind Kaden, which I think the Ipswich fans did. But it was a great finish. As McKenna said in his interview yesterday, you know, kind of reminded him a little bit that side of the box, the angle that he was out of that goal he scored in the first couple of minutes at Hillsborough the other season. Last season? I can't remember.
Yeah, last season.
It was great. I was up. I knew he'd score that as soon as it fell to him. Brilliant. And again, that was kind of relieved that pressure cooker, didn't it, of being 1 down to the Clark's long shot, and we're back on level terms. I think Kaden gave you everything you wanted. He gave you energy. She gave you everything Ladapo doesn't give you. He gave you some pace. He gave you some energy, which is all we want, really. I don't mind people missing chances if they're putting the effort in. And it just feels like with Ladapo now, doesn't seem to be putting the effort in, and you know you'll get that in bucket loads with Kaden Jackson, which is why I think McKenna often calls upon him. He's a safe pair of hands for him when needed.
I hate that though. That's such a subjective view. Like, how do you ascertain?
Hands.
No, I meant the
keeper
about Ladapo, and in terms of work rate, etc. Like, they're different players. They're going to do different things, and I think every player
one's hard working and one isn't. I mean, that's the only.
That's not his game, though, is it? I've never seen Ladapo as
what is Ladapo's
fox in the
game
box. Both Jackson and Ladapo could really benefit of playing with each other in a two-man.
We'll never see it, will we? We'll never
see it. Well, both trying to feed off those balls in the 6-yard box. Like, I've never had any doubts about Caden's finishing inside the 6-yard box, Rich. I've seen him finish those sort of opportunities before.
Right. I had a voice message from Hawks this morning. Who do you think? I've never heard this before. He mentioned a very well-known Arsenal striker in the same breath as Kaden Jackson's name.
Ian Wright.
No.
Dennis Bergkamp. No, not Dennis Bergkamp.
Come on. Arsenal's record goal scorer. Come on, Matt. You know that is.
Thierry.
Yeah. So that was an Henry finish. He got a lot of goals. That's what he's saying.
I know what you mean.
On that left-hand channel.
Yeah.
Now,
I know what you mean.
And Jordan also said, and I totally agree with him, that was one of them ones where it's instinctive. It's come straight through to him. It's first time. He's not had to think about that. It's the ones where he gets more time, Jackson. I think sometimes, and a lot of strikers, like, I think Alex Maffey, Matt, when we had him on, and we were talking about the goals against Norwich, and the one where he run from the halfway line, the second goal where he got put through. And he said they're the hardest ones because you have so much time to think what you're going to do. Whereas that one, it was a lovely finish by Kaden. It's a little bit lucky how it got through to him, and I think it was a real vital stage in the game to get that equaliser quite soon after, obviously, going behind, because everyone was a little bit on edge, weren't they? Oh, we've not won for 5 games. Oh, now we're 1-0 down. And you could feel it a little bit in the crowd, and I think that settled the nerves down a little bit. Are we going to talk about the Sunderland goal? The goalkeeper?
We can do. I'm
still chuckling at Martin, thinking he's strikers are really good from 6 yards.
Mate,
that's not the greatest of distances.
Box in the box,
but they are. If I've said this before about Freddie, if you look at all them goals he scored for Rotherham, Matt, penalty spot 6 yard. That's where he's scoring them.
Yeah,
he doesn't offer you a lot else. He doesn't offer you.
Yeah, he doesn't offer you a lot else, and that's the problem. Look, I was a very big fan of him last season when people got on his back because he came through and scored 17 goals brilliantly.
But now you're bidding him.
Yeah, but he's not showing me anything in the Championship where look at Connor Chaplin. He's taken the form of 29 goals in all competitions last season and gone up a little level with the goal he scored. At QPR, it was Johnny on the spot there. The great header yesterday. Chaplin is kind of like thrived on the promotion. Whereupon Ladapo's still giving you the same.
Yeah, but we've said this, haven't we? There's going to be certain players who are going to come on the journey with you, and this is. I wouldn't doubt his attitude. I said last Sunday, I think people saying he's not trying and that. I don't agree with it. It's just his body language. Everybody's different.
That's where I was going with my point.
You said about 2 or 3 weeks ago, you were moaning about Luke Wolfenden's body language, leaning against the wall. That's how he is, Matt. That's how Ladapo is. You're not going to change their body language.
The job, is there? This is the problem. This is why he's not getting game time. That's why he didn't come on yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But I just think let's not say that he didn't play a massive part last season, because he did. He did.
No, I'm not denying that.
And I think now we all know, and he probably knows, and this is what I said last Sunday, Matt. I don't know if you're watching. You're probably eating your Rouland or your pavlova.
He doesn't know what he was eating, does he? But that's the point. He doesn't know what he was eating.
I was driving, by the way.
While eating.
I think Freddie needs to. When Freddie gets the chance, it's like last Saturday. He wasn't great at Wimbledon, and I think we don't want to remember him in performances like that at the end of his Ipswich career, because he's done a lot of good for us. But I think that it was telling to me yesterday when you've got 6-7 minutes left in the game, and you put Marcus Harness up front, because you know that he's going to work harder. And that says to me the manager knows, and Freddie probably knows that himself. So it's a little bit of a conundrum for me. Ladapo, I know you're a footballer, it's what you're paid to do, but if you're not rated by the manager, in your head a little bit, you're probably thinking, he don't fancy me. I know I'm not going to be here. But then another person would say, well, just put the hard work in, and you never know, do you?
We've seen, but with different players comes different attitudes. Players we thought were going to get binned off. Jackson, say he scores yesterday. The renaissance of Donatian. Wolfenden got binned out, come back in, like you said earlier, made 150 appearances now. But there was a bit of content I was watching on YouTube the other night. I'd not seen it before. It was Connor Chaplin and Freddie Ladapo getting interviewed, where they got to come up with their favourite 11s that he've played with or played against.
Okay.
And there's some really good banter between them. And what I didn't realise was Ladapo had come on. He's only ever Premier League appearance for Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. I didn't realise that. So just the one of like 15 minutes or whatever for Palace. And, I just think to myself, you did really well with us in League One. But for whatever reason, he's not stepped up properly, shown that extra, percentage gain in his play to step up and actually become a serious contender off the bench or starting games. And then he's going to lose the chance of potentially going to the Premier League with us. I just find that baffling, really, because considering he's had a taste of it already earlier in his career.
Ian said it's not finishing the 6-yard box, it's about being there at the right time, losing your marker and timing your run, not about distance. I'm sorry, I've not really listened to anything you've said for the last 10 minutes. I'm still in my head seeing social media clipping up Talking Town compares Kaden Jackson to Terry Henry. And I'm just I'm still there. Thinking that's going to go
finish.
Yeah.
Finish.
Listen to what Talking Town have said now.
When he signed for Arsenal from Juventus, Henry, everyone thought he was useless.
Played on the left. Stuck him on the left, didn't they?
Yeah, played on the wing, didn't they? It's only second season, he suddenly became the legend. Yeah.
Really proud of the entire squad, says Harps, yesterday. In fact, not just yesterday, the whole season.
Colin said that when we were chatting at Statue. He said, total character, he said to me yesterday. They showed in that second half. I totally agree. Total character.
Stephen's not happy with Ladapo the same way he's not happy with the Dolphins players last night, because the Dolphins lost in the playoffs. Oh.
To the Chiefs?
Yes, don't like the Dolphins. That's not my worst NFL team. Green Bay.
They're like one of the lamest NFL teams, aren't they? Everything about them, the logo, the kits, the uniform.
I see some of that weather out there in America. And I know Govs doesn't like the cold. I mean, if you're an American football fan, you'd never go, would you?
Especially at Soldier Field, the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Oldest place on earth. Not they're in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah, but I don't do cold, particularly at the moment. I'm finding myself a little bit more sensitive.
Soon warm up, don't worry. Can we talk about the goal? Can we talk about Sunderland's goal? I don't know. I'd like to know your opinion on the goalkeeper.
Are you going to go back to Bolton's number one now? Are you?
No, I'm not. I'd like to know you from home, Gov, watching it on your TV. What was your initial reaction when you see it?
And by the way, RJ, yes, Bears have been good. By the way, we'll be good again next year. We'll be good again next year. Don't worry. I thought it was a great finish, but I thought it was really bad defending. Harry Clark and Leif Davis don't. I mean, Clark points to Davis and then goes with the runner. And I think the point is trying to tell Davis, you take the man with the ball, I'll take the runner. But both players obviously don't listen to each other and both go with the runner, which leaves the Sunderland attacker to cut inside, unchallenged. And then from there, it's all legs, but in the area. So we're not quite trying to stick out a leg that's going to bring somebody down. It falls to Jack Clark. And he does what he's been doing all season long. Absolute thunder. And Halaki's got no chance. And Mike yesterday on the match reaction show, no one's seen, by the way, says he was right behind it and Halaki should be saving it. I think from that distance at that speed, even if he doesn't guess, and he does guess,
I think that's his problem. And he got away with one before that, Matt. When
got away with one or read it well enough.
No, I thought he went down really early, and I thought Clark.
Oh, the one that ballooned over the bar.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. I thought he got away because I thought he gambled there.
Yeah, he did.
And I thought he gambled. He gambled with the one yesterday, and I think if he gambles steps to the left. Yeah, there you go. I agree with Matt.
He don't save it either way.
He gives himself a better. No, I just think he gives himself a better opportunity because it's at a savable height. It's not in the corner. It's not in the top corner of the goal.
But it's a bullet, Rich.
But he's still 22. He's still 22 yards out.
Bartosz Białkowski in his prime ain't saving that.
I think he gives himself. I just think he gives himself a better opportunity to save it if he doesn't gamble.
Maybe.
Was he blocked with his vision?
But you can't, like you said,
he doesn't really move, does he? Just falls to one knee.
You cannot give someone of that quality that space and time on the edge of the box. It's like literally a free shot at goal, wasn't it? It's a great finish. It was a great finish, but I thought we actually handled him quite well yesterday, Jack.
Yeah, apparently 70 miles an hour, says Colin. I don't know how he's tracked that or registered that, where he got that
He had about 6 points, Colin had, in the pub. How do you know, Colin, it was fucking 70 miles an hour?
Well, everything moves faster after 6 points. Actually. You know that.
It half
6.5.
We shared one.
What?
The half does
We shared one.
Yeah, Martin Williams made a great point, and we've really been poor on this, and I'm sorry, Martin. We've not talked about Travis yet in his debut. Half an hour into the show, link about to be dropped.
Just quickly on that goal. This is not the first goal. Second phase play from set pieces. We need to get better on that because that's where that come from, didn't it?
Yeah.
Corner, I suppose, it got cleared.
It's like you said, Martin. I suppose the argument between the defence or the discussion they'd have is no one actually tried to close him down, did they, Clark? He's got a free, like you say, free shot. What did Patrick tell us on the show Wednesday? 25 million starting bids to take him to the Premier League, West Ham, wherever it might be, and no one really ran towards him. I still think maybe Hladky was blocked on his vision a little bit, but he could.
Yeah, which is what Ian says in the chat. He says Hladky was unsighted. By the way, Harry Clark, not the greatest piece of defending there for the goal, but when he gets home last night, he probably took Jack Clark out of his back pocket. I felt like Jack Clark.
Second half he did. Yeah, absolutely. He was quiet.
Wasn't even playing, was he?
Do you think he got better after he actually got booked?
Yeah.
You think then?
Bit of fire.
Right, you're on the yellow card. Get the ball to Jack Clark. If you're Sunderland, get it out there. And I thought he started a bit shaky, didn't he? He had that one down near you, Matt, where he tried to let the ball go out for a goal kick and the players nicked it round him. Yeah. Obviously the goal. But I thought second half, he was my man of the match, Harry. Harry Clark was my man of the match. And I think now you're going to have that. Well, they're probably going to have the conversation in the week, guys, about Brandon Williams. Because obviously he's returned to United. He's being assessed with Clark playing so well. What sort of percentage of the wage would we be paying of Brandon Williams?
Well, and you've got Axel to come in there. I know he doesn't give you the same kind of attacking threat that Clark and Williams give you, but I'd imagine Axel might play against Leicester, as he's been playing the away games, isn't he?
Possibly. But yeah, I mean, obviously Harry Clark's on that Achilles management, isn't he?
Yeah, of course, he's got that. Can he do back-to-back games? It helps that we've got 9 days between matches now. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but then you have a shorter period between the Leicester game and the next game.
But it made me chuckle when they said he's gone back to Man United to be assessed. Why can't he be assessed at Town? We've had him. He's been here for bloody 4 months. I mean, what are they going to learn different that we don't know? I think if it's personally, I thought for about 6 weeks there, he looked top drawer. Other than that, he's been a bit of a letdown. And if it was up to me, I would probably send him back and I'll probably try and get somebody in to replace him because I know Gov's not happy. Obviously, he's man Danasian. He was given a new contract. He's obviously got that groin problem. He's not fit. So if you do say to Manu, you can take him back, we probably do need to get someone else in. But then, like Matt says, you've got Axel. Burgess comes back in February. It's all about places in the squad and could you get another attacking player in? Because I think this is where I know people say we need a striker. We do probably need 2, but I think we're going to struggle to get 2, if I'm honest. I think we'll probably just get 1.
We know Travis can play right back if needs be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see it, though.
No, it did feel like a bit of a D option, didn't it? But look, he's obviously got the skill level to be able to fill in there.
Well, listen, you got obviously Gymnasium on that groin. You've got Harry Clark managing the Achilles. You've got Massimo now with an ankle. I'll tell you what they need. They need stomach osteopaths, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Go and see Freddie, and he can sort you out with some osteopath treatment, physiotherapy. Tell him the Gov sent you. Phone number is 01449 613 633. I go there all the time myself. Great fun. Even if it does when you walk out afterwards.
Great fun. Being pushed and pulled everywhere.
Great fun, boys. Not really. It's nothing more relieving than going in with a pain and walking out without one. Let's be honest. But I would recommend staying. Yeah, I wasn't really concentrating when I said the word fun. Like my brain had gone somewhere else. It was.
You get great relief. Well, I was going to say you get great relief from it, but maybe that's not a good description either.
Oh, you do get relief from 01449 613 633. Stomach osteopaths. Tell Freddie the Gov sent you, but don't mention the last segue. Right. Travis, not the singer, the football player, and Jack Taylor. I'll say my 2p's worth, and you can both go on both players. Jack Taylor, if it was FM press conference time, he'd probably feel a little bit disappointed with his performance yesterday, but I won't criticise a player who constantly wants to pass forward. And I think we lack that at times with some progressive forward into Chaplin's feet, into Broadhead's feet. I thought he was really trying those yesterday, but basically what I'm trying to do is protect him by saying he didn't do that badly because I know what's coming, but I don't think I'm doing a very good job of it. And Travis, I thought was phenomenal. Over to you two.
Go on, Matt.
Well, I thought Taylor did all right yesterday, but when I was chatting to Mike the fisherman with his brother at the statue yesterday, we both thought the same thing. Really, it just feels like he feels like a square peg in a round hole. Really, he's a good player. He's got a great. We said he's great. He's a really good player. Passes well. Really good shot on him. If we're playing a different formation, he'd be seamless in that team. But for whatever reason, he just doesn't seem to bring the same impact that Luongo and Morsey do. Now, yesterday it needs must, and I'll take my hat off to him because he's been forced to go into a role with Travis, and as McKenna said, they'd had 3 training sessions together to play as a duo, and I thought so. On the back of that information, I think he did very well. But I don't know. It just feels like to me, if we were playing like a midfield 4, top of the diamond style of midfield player, and then that normally lends itself to 2 strikers, doesn't it? But I thought he did. Look, we won the game. I think he put in a real good shift. No criticism there. But just long term, is that going to be the pair that play against Leicester? We don't know what Luongo's injury is. I was surprised when it said we pretty much thought Travis was going to play. But obviously, we didn't know about Luongo's ankle injury. That to me is a little bit of a worry to go to Leicester to play that midfield 2.
He's having a scan. He's got to have a scan, man.
Yeah, so that doesn't sound good to me if he's got to have a scan. But muscle damage maybe there. I don't know. It feels like at the moment it's going to be Taylor and Travis to go to Leicester City.
How do you like Travis?
Really good. Yeah, I thought he was really good.
You might have Disco Dom in there.
Maybe.
Who I thought actually he came on well yesterday, and I thought he done quite well. Broke up the play.
Yeah, I thought so.
I thought he was all right yesterday. Not a starter. Not a starter. I'm not saying starter, but I just thought he done okay yesterday.
Travis delivered what we thought. Really, he gets stuck in. He breaks up the play. Hasn't quite got the same kind of. Well, I mean, listen, he's only just come through the door, and as McKenna said, he's only ever played for Blackburn through the youth levels. It's the first time he's ever pulled on a shirt that isn't a Blackburn Rovers one. So I thought he done really well. He'll only get better with more games. Hopefully he'll get them. But yeah, looks a good signing. Yeah, really pleased with him. Thought he was really good.
Yeah, really solid, nice on the ball, tough tackler, Rich. Jack Taylor's getting sort of comments in the chat who goes to giving the ball away quite a bit, which is what I say about progressive passing. Like, I don't mind a player that wants to try that risky pass where it's 50-50. Sometimes it will come off and you'll then be able to spin and get away, and other times it won't. I want that from my midfield, particularly when you've got players like Broadhead, Chaplin, and co. You want the ball into their feet in tight areas.
It depends where he's playing it. I think I like that. Second half, there was a couple of times when he's got the ball and he's driving through the centre circle. That's where I want to see him. I don't like it, Martin, when he's picking the ball up off the centre halves in our own half, and I don't think that's his game. I still think people, you do need to look. He's still pretty new to the club. He's only been here 6 months, and sometimes it takes players longer to settle. It does.
Thierry being one.
Yeah, exactly. He's not had a run of games, and he is still learning. So I like Jack Taylor. I think he's a very good player, but I don't think he had his best game yesterday. I can't sit here and say that he did. I did think he gives the ball away cheaply too much. But then, like you say, Matt, it was needs must yesterday because this is a brand new midfield, and you've had Morsey and Luongo have played literally the last 20 games of last season. And so they played nearly a whole season together, and we've not really had to break up that partnership. No. I mean, this is probably the first time where they've both not played, probably other than the cup game, where you've not had one or the other in the team. So, and to get that victory yesterday, I thought was massive with your new midfield. Travis, I think ideally, if you'd had a Morsey, Fit and Luongo, I think Travis would have probably been eased in off the bench.
Yeah.
Because I think Kieran likes to do that with new signings normally. But I think yesterday he had to throw him in. And I think he was knackered by, 65 when he came off. He was probably... He was running on empty because he's not played that many games for Blackburn. But
first games October, I think, maybe.
I think only 10 starts, 2 subs, appearances for them. But look, you know what you're getting with Lewis Travis. He's played 200 games for Blackburn. He's a good, experienced player, and I think he'll turn out to be a really astute signing. And you got even now, Luongo, possibly, he might be out for 2 or 3 weeks with his ankle. Even more so. I think it'd be interesting to see him play with Morsey in there, that dynamic, what they sort of offer. Yeah. And I was pretty surprised he wasn't one of the 5 who got a booking because he loves to tackle, doesn't he? And I was really impressed with him. He'll go under the radar. And Jack Taylor, you just give him time. It's not. Look, I agree with Ian there. He isn't a defensive midfield player, and that's not his role. If you played a 3, Matt, in there, he could play in that. I think you played maybe 2 holders and then he's just in front of them. But we're not going to play like that. But Jack Taylor, look, he'll be better for the minutes that he got. He's played the whole game.
Ditto Travis.
Am I concerned about him playing in midfield at Leicester? No. Why should we be concerned? You just got to trust these players. McKenna sees them every day in training. He knows what they can do. But I think going forward, it will be interesting. I think you said on Wednesday's show, Martin, if you have them all fit, obviously Morsey starts because he's in your spine.
Travis for me.
Possibly. But it was interesting yesterday, when you look at the lineup there, you've had the whole of your spine taken out of that team. You got no Burgess, you got no centre midfielders, and you got no George Hurst. And we've still come out and we've still won that game. And I think if I'm looking at McKenna's time at Town, and we've had some really good wins and that, I think that's probably up there, Matt, as one of his best wins. And it was and at a stage when we've had a little bit of a blip as well, when we've gone 5 and we've had a win. And I think you see the way, I don't know if you've seen it, the footage of him at full time celebrating with Martin Pert, and you're thinking, he really felt that one. I like that. I like that about Kieran because when he came in the first few months, he was quite dour. You're thinking, but more and more of his personality are coming out now. Yeah,
got more grown into the role, hasn't he?
Yeah,
absolutely. It was quite interesting yesterday. I think someone mentioned it in the comments there as well. We didn't see the 2 central midfielders come in deep to the edge of the box to take the ball off Ladke. So the distribution of the ball was slightly different yesterday. I do wonder whether or not, because that's been quite a component of our play, certainly at Pullman Road, but going away from home where we drop on the edge of the D and we try and bring the ball forward from there, whether or not we'll try that against Leicester. I mean, look, that's hell of an opposition to try that with potentially, a new midfield partnerships.
But Morsey's been doing that for the last 2 seasons under McKenna, and they're used to doing it, aren't they? And without him there, you do have to adapt and play in different ways.
Be flexible.
And even with Hurst up front, Martin, you haven't got that ball you can fire into him at his head, at his chest. Interesting, Colin. I don't know if he told you yesterday, Matt. You see Alan Lee. He was going to watch Bury with his son, and he was going to watch Town on the telly, and he was talking to Alan Lee. And Alan Lee said they need someone like me up front. Not like now, because obviously he's older, but someone like him, physical.
That's what I've said for the last 3 months.
But you can get the ball. You've got your Hurst, but you can get your ball into him. You can fire it in. He can back into the defenders. You can hold them off, and he brings other players in. And I had a message from Ben Adams at half time.
Oh yeah,
quite critical of Broadhead, right? And I've said, look, class is permanent. He said, I'm not seeing it at the minute, and I think him, right. And I think people need to understand this. George Hurst makes him a better player.
Yeah, correct.
Because I think you've got him, you've got Chaplin, you've got Broadhead, and they were used to playing together. And when you have different players come in and play different roles, I think it changes how certain people play. So I think it's key. I think we've got 9 days, haven't we, now, between...
Sam Gallagher, isn't it? Sam Gallagher?
Not for me.
Now,
But
now I looked at him the other day. He's what, 28. Now I think he
£5 million?
fits what we want. How much?
He does. Yeah, agreed. Well, it was
I think
£5 million quid
fits.
from Southampton to Blackburn.
Yeah, I think he's out of contract in the summer. He's could have a 12-month extension. I think he's what you look for. The thing that concerns me about him is he's played 5 games. That's all he's played all season. He's had 2 months out with a calf injury.
Yeah.
But this is where we are at the minute, you know. Who are you going to get for what the money we're spending that he's been playing week in, week out? And you might struggle with that. To get that player in, you might have to take a chance. But to me, it's a little bit of, you're taking a little bit of a punt there with a player who's not played a lot. He's going to take time to get up to speed. And I don't think we can really afford that, if I'm being honest.
I mean, look, the wish list we said, wasn't it? Someone who's playing minutes so they can hit the ground running. But like you say, and Ashton said it before, you know, it's a different, the window in January is different, isn't it? And maybe he's a diamond that we can polish, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for. Look, he was worth £5 million for a reason. Blackburn shelled out for him from Southampton. But when I spoke to Chris Hall about him at West Bromwich Albion, he said, good jobbing championship striker. Is that what we need really going into the last 20 games, whatever it is, 19 games? If he can come and do a job and help us get over the line, brilliant. And it'll be a great signing. But look, we had these reservations with Massimo Luongo. Weren't playing.
We had these reservations with George Hurst. People said he'd never.
Needle mover.
Right. But he's younger. He's younger for me. Gallagher's at 28. I'm not saying that's old, but it's listen. Everybody wants strikers in January. It's not a great time. We all know it's not a great time to sign somebody.
The timing of Hurst's injury was not great, was it? Either.
Well, no, but the problem is, and you're right, I did say about George Hurst, and I said at the time, the only person who can prove me wrong is the player, and the same goes for Sam Gallagher. The only person who can prove me wrong on this opinion is the player himself. But there's still, I mean, in terms of goal scoring return, there are still question marks about George Hurst, Matt. Like he's only got what 2 or is it? What's he on now for this season?
I think he's got 6, 5 or 6.
You know, it's a great start. Injuries have hurt him. He would have finished in double figures. I'm absolutely sure about it. Yeah. But there was question marks coming in. Is what I mean in terms of that. Sorry, apologies. We look at Gallagher. He's got a bigger body of work, but he's not scored above 9. I think in a season for the last 5 or 6.
Yeah. So he's had stop and start, or he's just not.
Well, I'm looking at his sofa score stats here. Right. We've got 1 in 6 so far this year, according to Sofa Score. 22-23 season, 8 in 27, 21-22 season, 9 in 28 starts. So you're looking at a sort of 8 or 9 goals.
289 career appearances, 55 goals.
Okay.
Is that, forget about this year's needs. Look at, people want to tell me about, the master plan, and they won't rush into a player. They'll have this plan, etc. Does he fit the plan for next year or 2 years' time? Look, he's gone. This is him at Blackburn, Matt. He 11 goals, 6, 6, 8, 9, 8. Now, George Hurst, how many would he have got if he stays fit? 12? Oh, double figures, like 12, 14.
I'd say. Yeah.
But then if you're a penalty taker as well, because Hurst is, he probably would have bumped himself up.
Penalties, you can't
say
we got
that.
one.
We've had one. I'm just saying it.
Decapitation yesterday.
We should have had more.
Exactly.
But he's a type of player you look. It's obviously they're looking for a Hurst. You're looking for a clone of George Hurst.
So are the goals a red herring, as we were saying in the first part of the season about George Hurst? The outside world will judge George Hurst by his goals, but we know what he brings in terms of everything else. So while you're looking at Gallagher, at the stats, and actually the goals are a red herring. It's not really what he does in terms of his finishing ability. It's about what he does. With his back to goal, sticking his backside into the centre half.
Bringing in your broadheads, your Chaplins, your Harnesses, your Sarmientos. Yeah, we said that. We said that Wednesday for yesterday, didn't we? Whoever plays that central role has got to bring all that triumvirate of players through, and obviously they came through the goals yesterday.
Let's get the Rovers podcast on if we sign him, and hope it's not a Di Cornell moment.
I think Lewis Travis has said, "Get yourself down here. It's decent." Maybe.
Well, if he has, I hope he's also spoke to a guy called Sammy.
Well, he must be on borrowed time anyway, John Dale Thomason, Matt, because they got spanked again yesterday, 4-1 at West Brom.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
And they're nosediving, aren't they, down the table? They looked fairly decent when they come to town earlier in the season. I thought they were good.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's get a couple of people coming in. We'll get Mike the Fishman in. We should have heard from him yesterday. We did, but you didn't see it. So we'll hear from him again tonight. Mike, all right. What are your thoughts sort of the next day on?
I said Cruncher a lovely 10-minute voice message earlier.
How do you get?
You
How do you
seem,
get
you
10
seem very
minutes.
pleased with that.
10 minutes. Unbelievable.
That's a phone call, mate.
I'm going to try and break it for the next game. Break the record. Look, do you know what? I thought long and hard about sort of the game yesterday. Sort of driving around this morning, doing bits and pieces, and the thing is, I think for the probably first 5 minutes we were like, oh, let's get at them. But I felt that Sunderland had the better of the first half. I thought they were a decent side. Stats backed it up. They had more possession. I thought they offered more in the first first half hour. They offered more. Hence why they got a goal. Poor goal to concede. I've seen it back, and well, I don't. Look, I'm not. I know that I'll probably get haters for this, but I'd bring in Walton now. I think it's time. I think because it's getting to that end of the season where
Talking about, man.
Some of these goals could end up costing us. Do you know what I mean? Some of these goals that should be saved. Laggy should have saved that. No two ways about it. It's been a couple like that. His distribution was poor yesterday. His kicking was poor yesterday. You can hold your head in your hands.
No, everyone's entitled to their view. It's your opinion, mate. You own it. That's what you always say.
Absolutely. But like I said, so look, I'm not convinced. Still not convinced with Laggy. So on that front, look, but the second half, it was like, we were just proper on it. We really were. And it looked like we were, maybe Kieran had sort of stuck some FBs and Cs into the boys at half time, and, one or two players maybe having a bit of a moan at each other saying, look, what the hell's going on? I thought Fridge has been immense. I was one of the fans thinking maybe Fridge should move on, but he's stepped in, and there's been a lot of criticism of him, and obviously some fans sticking by him and stuff like that. What's that?
Mike Sack. Love
it. But yeah. But yeah, I do think Fridge has been brilliant coming in, and on current form, does Burgess get back in?
You're getting a lot of criticism in the chat, by the way.
Mike is the Robbie Savage of talking town.
I knew I would.
You haven't got the same haircuts.
No, to be fair, Mike. I mean, the Ladkey opinion is absolutely outrageous. I will just say.
Well, in your opinion.
Yeah, I know, but if I don't say it, people will say I should have called you up on it. I didn't.
I say this to people, right? Where we're in the 70s, 80s, we had Paul Cooper. Yeah. In 92, we had Forrest. In 2000, we had Richard Wright.
In 2012, we had Bart.
You could argue. Well, I would argue that our keepers are nowhere near the kind of standard that they were. That's my opinion.
Well, no, because Wright was an England international. Forrest was a Canadian international.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about real caliber there, Mike. Like,
right,
that's not to say Ladkey's bad, is it?
But Martin, but then we go. Look, if we are seriously considering time in the Premier League next year, that we had them caliber of players and goalkeepers before. We need that caliber goalkeeper now.
But you've got to give the player an opportunity to go and be that caliber. Like this time last year, me and you talking about this.
You watching his ball control yesterday, because his ball control was awful. His distribution was awful.
He's been one of our best players, Mike. I'll stick up for him.
2 games on Sky now. Pundits have hammered him for it. His positional sense.
Yeah, but that's not his fault, is it? He was indecisive.
He's a goalkeeper.
Hang on. Is he? Wonder why you're wearing gloves.
So I've been told. Anyway, look, let's not. I don't want to.
I love you, Mike.
He's podied here. He's podied here right now. Me.
He's an okay keeper. He's an okay keeper. Would I keep him for the Premier League? No, but that's just an opinion.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. No, that's a fair point.
Yeah, I mean,
he's 34.
He's not even signed a new contract anyway, so he might not be here next season.
Exactly. Look, Celtic take.
Forest,
Good luck to you. And you know, at the end of the day is, you know, there's been times this season where he's been brilliant, and I don't want to be, you know, too hard. But I think personally, Walton saves that goal yesterday, and I think he'll save goals before. So, you know, I save some of the goals that we've conceded.
I'd like to see Craig Forrest volley a pass out the sky like he did at Middlesbrough.
That was brilliant. That was. I got up
in his trousers.
Tracksuit trousers, the ones he wear, and then big padded goalkeeper tops.
In his trousers, yeah, let's see it.
Goalkeeping has changed though, Mike, hasn't it? Goalkeeping has changed from like Craig Forrest in '92. Right, he was quite good with his feet. You missed out one of my favourite goalkeepers, Mike, Kelvin Davis, because I thought he was a really good goalkeeper. He was.
Yeah.
I
thought he was excellent. Then who?
Okay, Martin.
Kelvin Davis.
No chance.
Bart in his prime.
No chance. Who's got the better hair?
But come on, you can't. I can't choose my children. Like, come on, I can't choose between Ladky and Bart.
No! Come on! I'd have Bart all day long and twice on Tuesday.
I'd have Bart.
I'd
have a Ladky over.
Bart's kicking was terrible.
Over Kelvin Davis, and I'd have a Ladky over Aaron Lee Barrett, who was underrated, by the way.
You'd have a Ladky over Kelvin Davis, who played in the Premier League.
Oh no, the Davis for Town, not the Davis that played in the Premier League.
You see some of them saves he made. Do you remember that save he made at West Ham in the playoffs? Unbelievable save.
Have you seen
What's
what
the keeper he
was? Saves. Have you seen his distribution?
Who was the lad we had for 5 minutes and went to Rangers? Who was that?
Neil Alexander.
Oh, he was good as well.
Ladky's better than Neil Alexander. I'm going to bat for my boy Ladky here. I'm back.
You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't have said that in August, would you?
Let's bat for Ladky. Look, he's like I said. I don't want to turn it into a Ladky bashing thing because I don't want that. I just have an opinion. I don't think he is as good as maybe some people think. But that's all I'm saying. But he's been I would say he's been a solid 6 since he's come in, or average.
Is this Bruce Forsyth's playing cards, right? I want higher than a 6, mate.
No, he's been a solid 6 because there's games where he's been poor, and there's games where he's been a 4 and 5. There's been a game.
I don't think he's had many 4s. I don't think he's had many 4s.
Mike, we've only got 3 games all season.
Maybe 4's a bit harsh, but look, I'm just going to.
This is a man who gives players 1s and 2s if we get absolutely battered.
Like, I'd hate to play for Mike. Like, I reckon if you have one bad performance, you're not seen for 6 months.
Yeah.
Actually, you want to know how I coach? You talk to my boys; they'll tell you. But look, let's get away from poor.
Go on, one more point. Go on, one more point. Go on. What you got for us? One more point.
I wanted to talk more about that. You got onto the bloody goalkeeper situation.
Sorry, mate. I've got a feeling Colin waiting. Obviously, Colin has not been on for a while, so we need to hear from him. But, one more point.
But no, look. Jackson has come into some criticism from us. Took his goal well. But yeah, I think there's some valid points being made about Jack Taylor. Rich, look, I know you say he's been here 6 months, but how long does it take for you to fit in the system? Do you know what I mean? I mean, the trouble is he's not going to fit in our system the way we play. So if we carry on playing that way, he's never going to really be the player he was when he was at Portsmouth. He's not, because he's the number 8.
Played for Peterborough, didn't play for Portsmouth.
Yeah, sorry, Peterborough. Posh. So I don't know.
We know.
I'm tired.
They played in blue and white, didn't they?
Number 8 role.
I agree with you. I do agree with you on that. We spoke this morning, didn't we, on the voice notes about
he's a number 8, and we don't play a number 8.
I'm not writing him off.
No, I'm not writing him off. No, but he's distributed. Well, his passing yesterday was awful. He had a bit of rubber on his feet. Tackling wasn't. Yeah, look, I didn't think he had to go. Look, I agree. There was time, when he's running at the back line and forcing them defenders back, you kind of get excited. That's when you see the Jack Taylor that we know. Do you know what I mean? That we want, but we're not going to get that. I don't think we'll ever get that because we don't play with a number 8, or the old, what we call the old number 8. And people giving Broadhead a bit of stick as well. He wasn't great, but I thought, like you said on the messages, I think he got better when he went into that more into Hurst's role. I thought he put himself about a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's something we could look at. if we don't get this forward player in. There's a, I heard Marcus Stewart is sort of raving about Stansfield. So, maybe that's a player we could look at getting in, but we'd have to see, won't we? Really,
I think the loan return window.
They said there was only a small window, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They did. Mike, so I'll not put you down for a reservation on the Jack Taylor bandwagon that I'm driving. Not a problem. That's fine. Plenty of room for people that do want to join still. But
the Lucky fan club.
Or the Lucky fan club. Yeah, we'll take you off that mailing list.
Nothing. Listen, it's all about opinions. But I just want to say how important that win was yesterday for us as a club. Because although we hadn't lost many games, we hadn't won, I think, was it in 4 or 5?
5, yeah.
I think there's a lot of fans that came out and felt the same way yesterday. We felt relieved. We felt like, do you know what? We didn't play well in the first half, but my God, did we put a shift in the second half? And even like you say, even players, it was just a really ground out, solid, gritty, determined win, and that's good because it sets us up for the next game. And I think with their manager, Leicester, we've got Leicester next, haven't we? Leicester have got one of their strong players.
Apparently Maresca models his haircut on you.
Or me? Wow. takes you all morning to get this sorted out, I'll have you know.
Take 2 bottles into the shower.
I wake up in the morning, it's such a mess.
Mike, we appreciate you coming on, my man.
Good to see you, Mike.
Go and
see you last night as well.
Take care, lads.
Appreciate it. All the best. Barrett, who's going to Preston? 4,886.
Yeah, we get that whole end there, don't we?
It's the whole end, isn't it?
See, all these people moaning they can't get tickets for away games. There you go.
There you go. Get your
up to the northwest.
I wonder if we'll see Phil
Stephen Parry. Parry's going.
Parry's going. I tell you who will be going. 100%. Already probably sat in his seat waiting for the kickoff. Is this man, Colin Plum? Welcome in, Colin. How you doing? Well, you've not been on for a while. We appear to have fixed the technical issue. Brilliant to see. Your football club have just won again. What are your thoughts, Colin?
What are my thoughts? Well, a bit like Mike, what he said there lastly, about, it hasn't been a blip. It's just been a case of not been able to get quite over the line in 1 or 2 games, and to be fair, in 1 or 2 of those games that we've had draws with, we've done okay. I mean, more than okay. I mean, we should have beat Norwich easily. Really, in my opinion, we should have beat QPR, but we didn't. And I do agree with Mike there in what he said about, when we come out of the ground, although the whole squad showed fantastic character there yesterday, with the supporters, there was a lot of relief that we got the win and got the 3 points and got the car started again, kind of thing, and of course, like I said yesterday, I mean, Rich disagreed with me a little bit this morning, which is it, is entitled to do. When I said yesterday afternoon about there was a bit of pressure on us yesterday, and there was, in my opinion. I know these people always go about, the players don't know the scores, the results, and all that. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They might say they don't. But Southampton have won, West Brom have won, Leeds have won. We all know Leicester got beat, but Leicester got beat by a very good Coventry side who are coming up like a train. And I'll tell you, everybody keeps banging on about Southampton, quite rightly, but come on. I remember Rich said to me, no, I always say as it is. And Rich said to me about 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, watch for Coventry. I remember you saying it to me, Rich.
Yeah, I think they're finding now, because obviously they lost their 2 best players, Colin. They obviously went, and then they've signed quite a few players, and it's took a while for them to bed it. Look, Mark Robbins, I think he's a massively underrated manager, and I don't think he should be in the conversation for other jobs in the Premier League. I think the job he's done there, I think he's done a great job.
And also, you see, Rich, as well, I mean, obviously, O'Hara was out, and he's a quality player. He's top-end quality in this league. And he was out with a really serious injury for a long while.
Yeah,
Best part of the year, Rich?
Yeah, he done his ACL. He's in the...
He's a good player.
He's in the last 6 months of his contract. He's not agreed a new contract yet, Callum O'Hare. So he would be one. I think he'll probably...
I think he'll play in the Premier League, Rich.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Trevor says sign him. Look, there you go. I know Craig's a big fan of his. He'd go for him. But, yeah, good player.
Let's put that to Gov. What do you think of Callum O'Hare, Gov?
I haven't got a bloody clue, mate. I'm not even going to try and pretend.
Moving on.
I haven't got a bloody clue. On Wednesday's show, I got a lot of sign O'Hares, and I wasn't quite sure what they were talking about, if I'm honest.
Going back to the game yesterday, and yeah, there was a lot of relief, and of course, you know, we all know, and certain people have suggested to me, you know, we watch all these different things. And especially the Leeds fans, we must be really starting to get on their nerves. I know we've been getting on their nerves for about the last 6 months, but I think we're, you know, like when you got a toothache and then it kind of goes and it keeps coming back. I think that's what we like with Leeds fans at the minute. You know, it goes like 10 points, then it goes 7 points, then it goes 6 points, then it goes 4 points, then it goes back to 7 points. And we're back to 7 points again. And they've had a good win yesterday. Took it back to 4, then they're all back to 7. And I suppose in a lot of ways, we might start being a little bit of a toothache with Southampton as well. It'll start getting on their nerves as long as we can keep grinding it. Because let's face it, Gov, Matt and Rich, after we played Leicester, all right, we've got West Brom at home, we've got Southampton at home. Apart from that, we've got rid of most of our really tough games, in my opinion.
Coventry away.
That'd be difficult. Look, Rich, yeah, I agree with that. But we've got some really good fixtures coming up. And I'll tell you something else. Apart from Coventry away, which you're absolutely right, Rich, we've got a decent run in, if you look at it. We've got a really decent run in.
Kieran will only be looking at the next game, though, Colin. I know as fans, we can look ahead, but I think with Kieran, and if you look at, I said to Colin this morning, boys, that Southampton's next 3 fixtures, I mean, he might as well give them 9 points now. Swansea, Rotherham, Huddersfield. I think they'll win all 3 of them. And I think you said, Matt, on Wednesday, it's 103 years they've beaten the club record. Yeah, and they've had to do that to reel us in because we've been so good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there were Southampton fans who wanted Russell Martin sacked after about 6 or 7 games. They were madness. Yeah, but they when they got that window out of the way and they knew the players that they'd got, you know, until January, that sort of helped them. And look, I still think he's a bit of a Martin. Look, he obviously played for Norwich, didn't he, Colin? Russell Martin. I don't really like him. He's never really achieved anything, but I think they're the team to watch. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
I think they're absolutely flying. But look, we've got them at home, so when they come, I think it's Easter, isn't it, Colin? I think we play them.
Yeah.
We'll just say, Colin, Phil said something very similar on the Match Reaction show last night that, again, nobody has seen because it's not out. But I disagree. There's no easy games in the Championship. We've just taken 2 out of 6 against Stoke and QPR. This time last month, you would have told me we got Stoke and QPR on the horizon. That should be 6 points there. Like, you don't know the situation. There's no easy games. You've got to take it, you know, one and just view it as they on paper look more achievable than West Brom, for example. But we still have to be at absolutely 110% to get anything.
No, I get that, Gov. I look that in any league, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. I'm not agreeing for agreement's sake. You're absolutely right. But you've got to agree with me. There are easier games.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
In the league season, you know.
We thought Rotherham away was easier, Colin. We thought Rotherham away was easy and we didn't win there. Well, there's no easy games.
Yeah, and you're right there, Rich, and so did Leeds, and so did
Exactly.
other clubs who have been
Yeah.
to Rotherham. Yeah, I
True.
totally get that. But, you know...
That's why the
going
Championship's so
back-
good. That's why the Championship, Colin, is so good, because it's so competitive.
I mean, everybody always goes on about, and I remember, I suppose it's because we was obviously in that league last season, and everybody always bangs on about the League One is the hardest league to get out of. No, it's not. The hardest league to get out of in English football is the Championship.
It took us 4 years. It did take us 4
More
years.
seasons, Colin.
And if you look,
that is true. That is very true.
Probably put yourself in where we were last season. Put yourself in Portsmouth's seat now, because they've been top for so long. They've now got loads of injuries. They lose 3-0 at home to Leyton Orient. I mean, did anyone have that on their coupon yesterday, Colin?
No.
I mean, and they played more games than everybody else, so that was gone.
Oh, we've lost Colin. Bring him back.
I can't. He's not even on the bottom of the screen.
All leagues are hard, aren't they, Matt? If you look at all of them,
where's he gone?
Championship, League One, League Two. You look at the top 10. You know, they're all competitive, and that's why.
You've just given Southampton 9 points, though, you said.
Well, yeah, because I think they're flying. I think they're in such a good space.
I think you're probably right. I think Huddersfield will be a difficult game for them. I think they've got to go to Huddersfield. I think that would be quite a tough game.
No, but at St Mary's, they've already been.
Oh, is it? I was there. Okay. I do. I said the other week.
They're pony Huddersfield, mate. They are pony.
They gave us a good game at home, didn't they? But yeah, away from home, different. But I do feel like they're going. We'll probably drop down to third at some point. But maybe that's just little chance for us to reset, bed in new players, and as Martin
you
said,
just keep that gap. If you do go third, just keep competitive, because when it comes to the last 10 games of the season, and we talk about pressure, then don't we, Gov? That's when things can happen. And we, like you said, this stage last season, everyone, Sheffield Wednesday, nailed on. It's who's finishing second. And look what happened to them. So football is so. This is why we all love it, because it's so unpredictable.
It is. So what we're saying is, there's no easy games when Town play teams, but there's easy games when other teams play teams.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the way we're looking at it, aren't we? Because when we look at these teams, we think, oh bloody hell! But then we think Southampton, fuck me, they're beating everybody.
I mean, we're only here because of Forest Green. Let's be honest. We're only here because of Forest Green. They are the catalyst for this
League
journey.
2 at the moment.
Yeah, but they are the catalyst for this journey.
Troy Deeney, go and watch Troy Deeney's interview, Matt.
Oh, it's scathing.
He's literally chucking everybody under the bus, and he's chucking. Is it Darbo who missed the penalty for Coventry to get him in the Premier League? He's basically said he's basically saying he's been crap, and he wouldn't even get into a National League team in a minute. I mean, brilliant. There you go, Troy. Lift your players back up.
Yeah. He's senior midfield player Reese. Surname escapes me. Can't turn up for training on time. Like this
frustrations.
Yeah, that's what I saw on Twitter last night.
It's got returned.
I'll be real. No, I don't know what's happened to him. He hasn't returned yet. So I'll go to Phil and we'll probably close. But I don't know where. Hopefully, Connie returns before then. But I know Phil's got to pop off in 5 minutes' time. So Phil, make your point very quickly. But there'll be no more time for one last thing today. So you just got to get in and get out.
You've left no time for me to discuss the game. But just talking about fixtures and games and whatnot. Yeah, Colin is absolutely right. I do agree. Look, I'm gonna say after next Monday night, we would have played all the toughest games. Apart, we've got Southampton, West Brom at home to come, but
we've got Norwich,
Coventry.
Do you know the last day of the season? Do you know the last game that Southampton and Leeds?
Leeds away.
2.
Leeds away. Leeds are at home to Southampton.
Correct. They play them on the last day of the season. So if they have to get into the top 2 on the last day of the season, hard game to be playing Leeds.
Well, I think we're looking a little bit too far ahead there, Phil.
Well, there you go. Know Leeds don't do last games of the season well.
I'm just talking about the game, briefly yesterday. Look, the referee was crap, we know, and he's one of those new Premier League guys as well.
There you go. Phil said he was crap, Martin.
Yeah, he was crap. I mean, although it's on the other side of the other side of the coin is it's nice to see our Town players get stuck right in for once. Because we apart from Sam Morsey, we don't really put a challenge in, do we? It was just nice to see putting in a few hard tackles against a team that's a sort of a tough team to play against. And yeah, Sunderland did play well first half. I thought that they kind of controlled the midfield a little bit more than we did in the first half.
Agreed.
But, look, the reason why I said briefly yesterday, look, we've got an easier run in simply because it's the way that we're playing football, and this is why I believe in McKenna so much. That, you know, our brand of football is expansive attacking football, and it's great to see. It's always entertaining for the home games, and I'm loving it. And that's why I still believe that we'll finish in the top 2. And yes, we do have an easier run. Look, I mean, say all these people saying, "Oh, you know, we're punching above our weight. We shouldn't be in second place." You know, Southampton, Leeds, and West Brom are going to take catches.
There's the voice change. Let's feel
struggle to finish the top 6. Rubbish! It's absolutely rubbish. We're proving everybody wrong. And that Don Goodman comment earlier.
There you go. There you go.
Right,
Paul P's comment there.
He's never been a fan of Ipswich Town, Don Goodman.
Look at that comment, Phil. Look at that comment. There you go.
Look, we've had our mid-season wobble now. We're over that. Okay, we've.
Oh, he's backtracking now.
The way that we play our football, right, yesterday was obviously different to what we have been in the first 20 games a season for obvious reasons. No Morsey, no Hurst, 2 massive players, and we still managed to beat a team challenging for the top 6. So, you know, look, it's rosy, and I'm looking forward to seeing a new striker coming to the squad before the end of the month. I'm going to say we will get one, but I'm not so sure now with all, you know, look, it's always hard for a championship team to go after a striker at this time of year. You know, it was easier for us in League One because it's League One. Let's face it. It's you know, a team like us would have, you know, it's easy for us to sign a player.
Yeah.
But this time round, you know, we're in a bigger pond, my friend. You know, up against other teams with bigger resources.
With Sharks, yeah.
With Sharks. So look, second place, second half of the season, no problem. Tough games out of the way now, apart from the Leicester game, and let's just look forward to the rest of the season.
Are you going to Leicester,
you got to go.
What?
Are you going to Leicester?
No, I'm going to say I'm tempted to go to Preston, but I've been to Preston about 6 million times. I've been to Preston so many times in the last 30 years of my life. I would say every year when I was a teenager, I pretty much went to a Preston game because I was visiting my grandparents up close, just outside of Preston every August. So when the season started, it was either, I think, the first or second home game of the season that I would go and see Preston play, either in, say, the old Division 3, Division 2 when it was back then, because they were in Division 3 and Division 2 in the 90s. It's only in sort of the last sort of 10, 15 years that they've really, you know, made something of it. But I'm a bit cash strapped at the moment because I'm paying off some debt, so I don't know. But you know, nearly 5,000 tickets. You know, yeah, that's a big number. Yeah, got no problem getting to away games this season, and I was eyeing up the Millwall game actually until it was announced it was on. I think it was on Sky.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm going to the Maidstone game. Going to the Maidstone game, going to get a ticket for that. Looking forward to that. I think you, Rich, are going to be refereeing a game, aren't you?
Yeah, I got a game that morning. I'll stay home and watch it on the box.
How much are the Maidstone tickets? They doing
not out yet. Not out yet.
Probably £15 each or something like that.
Yeah, I'd say 15 quid an adult.
15 quid or something like that. Yeah, I'll go along for that.
It's great. It's great for Maidstone. It's on the telly and they're getting
Look, and all you guys said no, it won't be on TV, and I was the one who said yes, it was.
You were.
I got it right.
But Phil, it's 25 past 3, so you have got to.
I've got to go. I've got to go. But thank you very much. Take care.
It's all right. No worries. Look after yourself. I know he's got to go by half past. That's why I'm looking at the time for him. So before I go, Saramento, very quickly, how did you see his performance, Rich?
Yeah, I liked him. I'll tell you what I did like, Matt. He don't mind a tackle.
Yeah, got stuck in, didn't he? Yeah,
so that challenge, Gov, I'd love to see it back because he's booked the Southampton guy. I thought they were both sort of. I thought it was a 50-50 one. Is it the follow through?
I've got no idea.
But what I did learn, and another thing I learned about the referee yesterday. So you know now, Matt, when the player gets injured, he has to go off the side.
Yes.
To the touchline, 30 seconds. He didn't. Did you see him? He walked off. Sunderland were doing a sub, and then he come back on, and the ref let him back on.
There you go.
No, I liked him. I liked him. I think he'll excite a lot of players.
Yeah.
The more it's good now. We've got, I think, 9 days in it between yesterday and obviously the Leicester game. So we've got a good training week there. So yeah, I'm excited to see him. I think he's a little bit different than anything we've got. I think he just offers a little. He done a lovely flick there, Matt. Second half, sort of flicked it through his legs, and then he was off. But I think some of these players, and even Amari, he gets his foot in now, doesn't he? And he's from when he came in to now, they all get stuck in. They all put a shift in, which I think is important. And like I say, Dorset Blue says there, he's definitely got some skills, and I think he'll be one of them players who, I think he'll frustrate you at times, but then he'll do things and you think, blimey, and he'll get you off your seat. So, yeah, let's hope he gets plenty of game time between now and the end of the season and gets a few goals and a few assists.
I wonder if there's an argument. I was going to say, I wonder if there's an argument there for when we go to Leicester that Broadhead plays centrally, given how much we've all kind of said he looks good in that role, and you stick Sarmiento on the left and start the game with him. But look, we can discuss that Wednesday. But yeah, I was surprised by the fact.
No show.
Oh, no show.
No show Wednesday, Sunday, because obviously it's a Monday game, so you might as well just stick to the Sunday 1:30.
Well,
and do that.
It could be maybe a transfer show this week when we sign that number 9.
Yeah, might be 1 or 2 transfer shows this week.
Yeah. Hotline to Blackburn, the Rovers pod. Yes, I thought he looked really good. I was surprised by the fact when I was speaking to Chris at West Brom, said he drifts in and out of games, and as Rich says, he can be a bit frustrating. I was surprised by the fact that I think he was pumped up and pleased to be part of a team that's, vying for promotion. He was certainly getting stuck in. It was brilliant to see. Yeah,
I thought the subs were really good. I thought the subs were good yesterday, Matt. I thought at the time they came on and they all made an impact, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you made the right call earlier. Look, Harness over Ladapo. Lacey gave you some running. Then, of course, Axel comes on right at the end.
Anyway, I did hear yesterday, Tux. So it was obviously the Mark Tuxford derby yesterday because all of his in-laws are obviously Sunderland fans.
Oh, yeah.
So I spoke to Cole this morning, and Tux was not very happy at 1-0 down. But then he's got the bragging rights because obviously that's the first double this season, isn't it? Sunderland beat them first day of the season.
Don't sleep on that either. As a team in the playoffs last season, beat them 2-1 both times.
Massive victory. Before
we do go, good big shout out to the club for the Once a Blue, Always a Blue, and the pictures on the screen and the names in the program.
Very good.
Yeah. Very moving. Yeah, fantastic.
And if anybody wants, I spoke about it on Wednesday. If anyone wants any Derby Rimmer car stickers, Matt, if you want one put in your motor, let me know because they're out now. So if you want any, I'll get a job load of them and then you can hand them out and get your car sticker in. Do you want to go put in the back of your little little beep beep?
Little Volkswagen up. Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that. Yeah, that'd be great. All right, perfect. What a show. Hour and 26. We are not back until this time. Well, not this time next week, but next Sunday at 1:30 where we look ahead to Leicester. I'll try and get a Leicester podcast on to give us the ins and the outs and the rundown on the Foxes.
Unless there's a signing.
Unless the klaxon goes. So keep your eyes on
we didn't touch on quickly before we go. Kyle Edwards, thoughts on him leaving the club?
Oh, inevitable, really. Inevitable, wasn't it? I hope he gets over that injury and signs for Oxford because they obviously quite like him there, and he seems to be doing quite well there. Just didn't really work out. Like him and Raheem just didn't work out for whatever reason at Town, and hopefully Carl can go and have a good career at Oxford.
A lot of talent, isn't he? A lot of talent, but I don't really think he ever. Yeah, he played a part last season, didn't he? But he didn't really deliver, did he? I know he had 60 odd appearances. I think 3 goals. Was it? I think one of them was a cross. People will still say it was a shot. If he meant that, he wouldn't be playing in League One. I tell you, he'd be playing.
I think our best memory of him was when we came back from the podcast and he was got on the train with us, and we went, "All right, Carl."
He was a bit sheepish, wasn't he? He
was into another carriage.
It was a Thursday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, about 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
really good character, weren't he? Really infectious, and he was always smiling. I think he was one of them players who was good around the dressing room, and I think he's going to do his rehab down at Oxford. So I think probably would end up there. I'd have thought.
Yeah, that conversation is on our Discord. We're also going to cover the transfers. So the klaxon goes, the conversation will carry on in there. So if you want to go over to our Discord, please feel free to. You do have to be a YouTube member, which is click the sign button or join button on YouTube, or Kofi $4.99. Cancel at any point.
Do we think we'll have a signing, Gov, this week before Leicester? Do you think we'll have that?
Oh, I'm going to go greedy. I'm going to go 2. Not 2 strikers, but just 2.
Ipswich Town ladies lost 4-1, by the way, to Charlton in the
FA
Cup. Yeah, Sophie Peskett scored, but disappointing result for Joe's girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to them. I saw a comment on Facebook about, is it time Joe moved aside? And I was a bit surprised at that, if I'm honest. But that's the question for another podcast.
Definitely. He's done a really good job. He's done a really good job, Joe. And we've obviously had him on.
Not my opinion. I don't think he should. But it was just surprised me because obviously I didn't expect to see it because obviously he has done a good job as you say.
Oh, he's done a great job.
But thanks for watching. This has been Talking Town. Hit the like, subscribe, FTA if you're just catching up with us. But he's been
the algorithm.
Del Monte. Yes, for the algorithm, President Algorithm. And this is the Cruncher Richard Moss. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all on Sunday, unless there's a transfer. All the best.